When the PS5 launched, it brought 4K and 120 FPS gaming to PlayStation for the first time ever. Good news is TVs are finally out to take advantage fully of everything the PS5 has to offer. But don't just go out and buy the cheapest TV just to check the box of 120 FPS, 4K, because there exists a TV that can check the box, destroy the box, wreck the box, basically give you everything that you need. And this TV is the LG BX. So let's kick things off by looking at the PS5.
So now we ask ourselves, what can the PS5 do? You know, the thing that's selling out everywhere and you can't find and play and it's hard to get and expensive and scalpers, blah, blah, blah. PS5 can support HDMI 2.1 features. More on that later. This is important because that's what allows it to go up to 4K 120 FPS with HDR. It can also support up to 8K 60 FPS, but right now, no idea when that actual feature is going to be released. And to be completely honest, no clue if games will actually reach this number without stripping away every possible visual setting. I'm just speculating that it won't be able to actually reach that number because, come on, really? $400? I'd be surprised to do it, but let's see what happens with that. Also supports HDR10. No HDR10 Plus or Dolby Vision on the PS5. Media junkies be warned, so you'll just be watching regular HDR, which should be more than enough. Now, what can't the PS5 do? It has no ALLM, so no auto low latency mode where it switches to game mode and automatically gets you that quick response time. You'll just have to do it the old-fashioned way by clicking through with your remote. And also no VRR mode. But Sony did say that they're going to support that later. So let's talk about what's coming for the future of the PS5 now. Again, 8K VRR coming soon. Another thing that Sony mentioned is 1440p support. If you look at their actual Ultimate Facts guide on the PlayStation website, it talks about it, and Sony says that they will enable it and put in that feature if there's enough demand. Honestly, why not just make the damn 1440p mode? People want it. You know some people want it. It may not be the majority, but just put it in there. Get some more stuff in. Make gamers happy. Please do it, Sony. Make this happen. And now let's talk 8K for a bit. 8K, which is kind of dumb for the PS5 if you ask me right now. They even put it on the box. It's on the box. It says 8K on the box, but it's not 8K out of the box. See what I did there? 8K TVs are super expensive currently, and no games support 8K at launch. It's like, why? It's kind of like when they put 4K support on the PS4 Pro, and most games use that 4K mushy checkerboard 4K instead of actual real native 4K. That's what I smell happening here all over again. But we'll just have to wait and see if games will be upscaled 8K or actual 8K or checkerboard 8K or whatever Sony is going to decide to implement in the future. Now let's talk about what can the LG BX do. Has support for HDMI 2.1 and the full stack of features. Can go up to 4K at 120 FPS with HDR at Chroma 444. No 8K support here, but honestly, if you don't have an 8K TV for several years, you'll be fine. LG BX also supports HDR10 and Dolby Vision to compensate for it missing on the PS5, so you have that to take advantage of. Last but not least, LG BX supports G-Sync and FreeSync. Why? Because console gamers and PC gamers tend to own the same stuff nowadays. Let's be real about it. So again, you have literally the full stack of gaming features all up in this TV for you to enjoy. Now we're going to talk a bit about the responsiveness while gaming. LG BX has a rated 1 millisecond response time. According to ratings, doesn't actually get there, but it's pretty damn responsive. So you get to see me get smacked in some video games real quick. And first off, we got Destiny. I'm here in Destiny running around in Crucible, which I actually haven't played in many, many years. So here I am getting toyed with and killed and killed and killed. Not the point, but the responsiveness is good. Destiny is also a game that supports 120 FPS mode, only in Crucible, meaning online PvP, but still good. And honestly, it's pretty responsive. Fortnite also released a PS5 update. In this update, 4K, good visuals, HDR, all that stuff. But they also released 120 FPS mode. Even though it's at 1440p, the game looks as responsive as ever. And honestly, I have only been playing 120 FPS mode. In 4K 60 mode, I just sweat too hard, even though I'm not great at the game. And I just love the fact that I have it available. It's so responsive, and it just makes the gunplay and the building and all the things that people play Fortnite for that much better. I really hope that this becomes a standard for PS4 games. And what I mean by that is a performance mode and a visual mode. Because honestly, I feel like PS5 is going to be bridging the gap between people who want to start playing competitively and people who just want a really, really nice experience and are casual and just want to enjoy the game and get those nice visuals. Now I want to talk about HDR and color focus games. First, we're going to talk about Astro's Playroom. This game is amazing, by the way, if you haven't played it. And it was meant to show off the new DualSense controller features that Sony put inside the new controller for PS5. Mind you, those features are amazing, but the game is so much more than that. First off, this is a full-fledged game with different levels and so much for you to do. It even has time trials. There's a GPU level, CPU level. You're basically inside the PS5, running around as Astro, trying to save the day. And yes, there's even a final boss. And this game is just amazing. Different levels, the colors, the ray tracing, the HDR, just like, it looks gorgeous. And I'm not kidding, like, it just looks so good. Everything just pops. And on top of that, again, the game just being fun is icing on the cake. Next up, we're talking about Bugsnax. I included this game because it has a lot of vibrant colors. You're walking around in gardens and like grassy areas, and you have these reds and greens and yellows and all these different colors. And if you can see, like, the ketchup and stuff, the red just pops. It is so nice and vibrant, and all the colors in the game just look so good and delicious. So now let's talk a little bit about OLEDs in general. In the past, I know OLEDs have had burn-in issues, and it's still a worry till this day. If you don't know what burn-in is, it's when an image is displayed on the screen and gets stuck permanently, aka burned in. It could be slight at first and get worse, where you actually see like a red box or something like that on the TV screen. This sucks, but LG thought of that and built in some features to make your OLED display last a really long time. The first one is called Pixel Shift. With pixel shifting technology, the pixels on your TV will literally shift over. It's not noticeable unless you're literally staring at a still image for a really long time, so that's the good part. It's not going to be weird where like your whole movie shifts off screen and then you can't see it anymore. It's not like that at all. It's a very tiny, subtle movement that you most likely won't notice. There's also a feature called Pixel Refresher. This runs every 4 hours and begins once the TV is turned off, so it's not going to interrupt you or do anything if you're watching YouTube or Netflix or Hulu or etc. Think of it like a detox for your TV's pixels. That being said, if you need to show a static image for a really long time, LG recommends the following. First, switching your TV to Eco mode. Next, lowering the OLED light level in the picture settings a lot lower than what you have it currently set. And that should actually help. Most people for common use won't have to worry about this. So now we got to talk about the competition. You can't talk best PS5 gaming TV without talking about the other TVs that exist out there, right? All the TVs I'm going to mention have really good gaming response time and all support 4K 120Hz because they all support HDMI 2.1 mode. I'm going to post the specs of each TV so you can kind of see the highlights of each one and decide for yourself. All these TVs are really good TVs. They all have good HDR. They all have good color. Of all the sets though, the LG Nano kind of falls the shortest, which is kind of surprising. It's an IPS panel, unlike some of the other sets here. So I'm not really sure what's happening there. Vizio is kind of interesting because they actually have two models that are priced similarly. One at $1199.99, the P Series Quantum with a VA panel, and the Vizio OLED, which is $100 more. Not really sure what's happening there. A little confusing. Yeah, I have nothing. If you have any thoughts on that, drop a comment below. Now for the LG CX, I did not include it on the list. If you want to know more about why, check out my LG BX versus LG CX comparison video, link in the description.
So now for final thoughts. First, I want to give an honorable mention to the Samsung Q80T for the Game Plus mode, which allows you, again, like I mentioned before, you can basically get those nice processing features and get the game response time at the same time. Nice icing on the cake. Well done, Samsung. If you go with the Q80T, you'll sacrifice a little bit of picture quality, just a little bit, but at the same time, you'll be saving some coins, so it might be worth it to check that out. And apparently, you'll need to get the 55-inch or higher just to get all the features that I mentioned a little while ago. Not sure what's happening with that. That being said, the LG BX is a great all-arounder if you're a console gamer or a PC gamer, which is why it is my pick for top PS5 TV. The price range is really the killer for most people. OLEDs are expensive. I don't see them going down anytime soon in price either, so you'd have to save up your coin for that. But you'd be getting every penny worth of TV for years and years to come. That's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know down in the comments which TV you think you'll be getting when you get a PS5. I know it's tough out there to struggle. I had to struggle and fight for mine, staying up late nights and stuff like that too. Drop a comment. Let me know if you enjoyed the video. That said, anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.